Hey guys, what's up? Zijin Chang here, and this is the review of the Mlais MX Base. I'm extremely excited for the Mlais MX Base because firstly, it is a 5-inch phone, which is the perfect size for me, and it has a large battery at 4300 mAh. It also has decent specs, an MTK6735 processor, and 2 gigs of RAM, a solid mid-range phone. Based on the specs alone, this phone looks very well rounded and could be a success for Mlais, but let's see how good the user experience is. Let's get started. This phone is thick. It is exactly 9.9mm thick, and is clearly visible in my jean pocket. The phone itself looks fairly nondescript. The front holds the 3 capacitive buttons, and there is a metal bezel around the side that does make the phone look better. The volume and power buttons are located on the left and right side of the phone and are okay. They're not too solid, but they should hold up in the long run. The back of the device is textured plastic and feels average, not too cheap and not too expensive. It attracts oil and fingerprints like crazy though. The back is removable and reveals the 4300 mAh battery, SIM, microSIM, and microSD. The battery is also removable, which I'm quite surprised about since large batteries like these are usually not. 5 inches is the perfect size for me. The phone looks very plain and is very thick enough to be a deal breaker for some. It is quite solid in terms of durability, but the plastic back does attract oil and fingerprints very easily. Overall, I'm quite satisfied with the build quality of this phone. And although it doesn't wow you with looks, it definitely is solid enough to last you in the long run. The 720p resolution on a 5-inch screen is dense enough pixel-wise. I've tried to emphasize over and over again that resolution isn't what makes or breaks the screen quality, but equally important are the saturation and accuracy of the colors. Thankfully, I was very impressed with the colors. Just like the Mlais M52 Red Note, colors are extremely vivid and accurate. They have struck almost the perfect balance between an AMOLED display and an LCD, and this is partly due to mirror vision, the software found on both the M52 and the MX Base, which really enhances the screen quality. The screen itself doesn't get too bright, topping out at around 400 nits. It gets a little hard to see in direct sunlight, but angle it correctly and you should be able to use it, maybe just barely. Overall, the screen quality really surprised me with its colors and quality. If you are looking for a good screen and not just a 1080p screen, this will definitely satisfy you. The speaker can output very loud sound, as loud as my sister's Moto G, which is one of the loudest loudspeakers of any smartphone. You can actually hurt your ears if you place the speaker too close to your face. Quality is surprisingly satisfactory, even at max volume. Listening to music videos like Taylor Swift's Fighting video threatened to burst my eardrums, not with bad quality, but with volume alone. You can turn the volume even higher in the sound settings with the volume enhancer, but unfortunately that causes sound to distort. I'm quite happy with this speaker, as it outputs very loud volume and has surprisingly satisfactory quality, even at the loudest sound. Mlais has placed a 4300 mAh battery in this phone and should provide insane battery life for anybody. This is truly the first phone I'm considering to replace my THL5000 with a 5000 mAh battery. Let's see how it performs. I set the screen brightness to 250 nits and reloaded web pages over Wi-Fi every few seconds. The phone died after 11 hours. In the video playback test, I looped a video until the phone died and the phone played back video for 14 hours. These results are just as good as my THL5000. It seems that the battery capacity is actually 4300 mAh. Real-life battery usage matches the results above. The phone was off the charger for a total of 16 hours. During that time, Wi-Fi data and GPS was always on. I racked up a total of 5 hours of screen on time, and that included 1 hour of Hearthstone, which famously drained my THL5000 in 5 hours, and I had 30% left. Battery life in this phone is one of the best. Light users can go up to 4 days without a charge, and heavy users can probably get 2 days. You can only drain this battery in 1 day if you play games or watch videos non-stop for at least 10 hours. In conclusion, you don't really have to worry about battery life at all. Battery life can compete with large battery phones like the BlueBoo X550 and the THL5000. Android 5.1 is installed stock on the Mlais MX, and there are no skins or replaced icons to disturb the stock experience. Props to Mlais for doing that. Even the launcher is completely stock. The icons are a little smaller so you can fit more icons in one page, but that is something I like. The Lollipop user experience itself is very good. Swiping between home screens, launching apps, and general use is all very fluid. Smart gestures are present in this phone, which basically allows users to draw certain gestures on the screen while it is off to do certain things, like launching apps or waking the device by double tapping on the screen. However, for some reason, screen gestures don't work very well. I have to tap on the screen many times just to get the screen to turn on. I'm quite sure this is a software bug. In addition, there is no notification LED on this phone, just to let you know. It has multiple languages as well. Pause the video to see if your language is supported. The Mlais also features an IR blaster, which you can use to control your TV instead of your remote control. I tested this functionality and it did work with my rather old Seiki dumb TV, and what I mean by dumb is that it isn't a smart TV. The range on the IR remote is extremely limited. I was sitting on my couch about 10 feet or 3 meters away and it wouldn't reach. Only moving within 2 feet of the TV would it work. In addition, you have to be pointing the phone's blaster directly at the TV, otherwise commands won't work. In conclusion, while I very much appreciate the addition of the IR blaster, it just doesn't work well enough to justify using it. Mlais did not separate the storage into multiple partitions, but kept everything in one huge partition of 12 gigs, and that is something I greatly appreciate after having a lot of problems updating large games on my THL5000, which separates the partitions into a 4 gig and 8 gig partition. The MTK6735 processor is a mid-range processor, and is less powerful than the flagship MTK6752 or 53 processor in both CPU and graphics. Let's see how well it performs in intensive apps like games and multitasking. Gaming is completely fine. The 720p resolution proves no problem at all for the processor. Less intensive games like biiig also run perfectly well. I ran Antutu as well and got a score of 28,000, which is around the old MTK6592 processor, so that's not bad. Performance on this phone is a lot better than the Alcatel U8 because it's not underclocked. In conclusion, I'm quite satisfied with the software here. The only two things I don't like about the software are the smart gestures, which don't work very well, and the IR blaster, which is, well, mostly hardware because it can't reach very far. This phone supports quad-band GSM, quad-band WCDMA, and quad-band LTE, which means it will work in almost all places worldwide, and here in North America, it should get LTE on many of the major carriers. Reception is mixed, surprisingly. Calls and texts are perfectly fine and never dropped. I had a strong 3G signal all the time, even in the basement where other phones, even the Zenfone 2, had trouble getting a signal. That's a good part. The bad part is that the 4G reception isn't very good, and falls back on 3G very often compared to other 4G phones. My phone switched to 4G after waiting maybe 10 minutes, which is pretty long. I then performed multiple speed tests in different areas of Toronto and Canada, and obtained speeds anywhere from 36 to 25 megabits a second, which is okay. Wi-Fi reception was also okay, nothing special, and so was Bluetooth, which I tested with my car's Bluetooth transmitter. GPS signal reception is also mixed. Regarding the GPS accuracy, it was actually quite good. It was always within 5 feet. However, the GPS direction is completely messed up. If you watch the video, you can see the little arrow spinning like crazy. In conclusion, connectivity is mixed. Overall, you should get good reception and good GPS accuracy. If you can live with spotty 4G or LTE connectivity and having the GPS direction spinning around like a top. Mlais has placed an OmniVision camera sensor in their phone, so let's see how the camera performs. You can tell that the camera is one area where they skimped out on. Pictures taken look okay, colors are okay, details okay, and overall an okay picture. But zoom in just a little bit and the quality just goes completely downhill from there. And this is in ideal conditions. There is also serious quality degradation the less light there is, which is quite common in many Chinese phones. The front-facing camera is average, good enough for video calls and maybe some selfies. Conclusion, the camera will take okay thumbnails for social media, but if blown up any bigger than a 5-inch phone screen, it's pretty bad. And camera quality goes downhill quite seriously if you get a little less than ideal sunlight. So what is the verdict on the Mlais MX Base? Pretty much every area of this phone is pretty good to great, except for the camera. Build quality is durable, the screen is vivid, the speaker is loud and the sound quality isn't bad, and battery life is amazing. Some small issues like the software with screen gestures and the camera on this phone is not good at all. Can you look past the bad camera? If so, this phone is great. Were you expecting BlueBoo X550 or THL5000 like battery life? 3 days without charging? Definitely possible with this phone. For me personally, I'm officially going to replace my THL5000 with the Mlais MX Base, as it fulfills all of my needs and I can look past the bad camera. Thank you for watching and have a great day. If you want to see more videos like this, click on the subscribe button on any of the videos that should be popping about right about now.